1 million after party of day number 1, unleashing unlimited amounts of power by choice. So I'm super excited for this particular video because a lot of the time people want to go and create successes for themselves. A lot of the time people want to be able to create the most beautiful life. We just had an absolutely fantastic day number 1 at Project 1 Million in 1 year. And I know all of our amazing participants are really buzzing to go and create the beautiful results for themselves. And it was just really, really beautiful. But also, a lot of the time, we don't actually realize the incredible powers that we possess and what we are capable of in terms of being able to truly go for it and make things happen and to commit 100% like Grant Cardone says, because in his quote, and I want everybody to comment it below and definitely write this down for yourself if you're part of the YouTube channel or if you're part of Project 1 Million, is that once you commit 100%, success shows up instantly. And if success hasn't shown up for you just yet, it simply means that you haven't committed 100%. So I am super, super excited to then share with you guys in this video today how you can actually tap into that limitless and unleash that limitless energy, and how you can have a very simple mind hack that I learned pretty much on day number 1 of my entrepreneurial journey that allowed me to really realize, hey, wait a second. Yeah, I got this. I can do this. So if you're excited for this, do let me know. Comment it below. Now, also, I'm going to do a really quick check because I've had it before that I was doing a live video and that the sound wasn't working. So do let me know if you guys can hear me properly. I'm also just going to do a quick sound check to make sure that all is good in the hood. And I see Misty over here. Hello. Thank you so much for being there, part of Project 1 Million. By the way, okay, sound check performed, very good, is working. So if there's anybody who's also part of Project 1 Million 1 year, comment below and say P1M if you're part of it. And also feel very free to share your biggest learning. And also very important, as a YouTuber officially, I have to say, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be blessed with daily incredible empowerment that we are so determined to make for you guys to help everybody to create this beautiful freedom lifestyle for yourselves. So here we go. For those of you that were part of the event, you would have heard me say a quote that I learned very early on. It was actually on my very first self-development event where I met my first mentor in business, Master Kashna, and he shared this really interesting thing. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your comments. And he said to me, and those of you that were part of the event will have written this down already, but I'm going to say it again. He basically said, it's never the lack of resources. It's only ever the lack of resourcefulness. Now, what does that mean? It basically means that if you want to create something, or you want to start your business, or you want to go on and embark on a beautiful new journey, such as creating 1 million in 1 year and beyond, that you might feel, and I felt very much like that when I started out, like I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't know if I can do it. I might as well do it later. Like those are all the little sentences that the little voice whispers in our ear that actually are extremely detrimental to our capability of whether or not we can actually get success. And if we realize that it's never the lack of the resources, money being a resource, time being a resource, but only ever the lack of resourcefulness, obviously us going out there and being resourceful in finding what we do not yet have, then actually we can do anything. And that's why this quote is so important, but it's not the one that's going to allow you to tap into your unlimited potential and power to be able to create things. It's a very similar one, but it's different. But I just want us to stand still by this one, realizing that nothing can really stop you but yourself. And that was exactly the thing that we concluded on our day number 1, is that we behold the power to create anything. We behold the power to go and make that decision of success so that we may have a multi-million-dollar business empire, so that we may impact a lot of people, so that we can look after ourselves and our families. So it's never the lack of resources. It's only ever the lack of resourcefulness. So be resourceful is tip number 1. I want everybody to comment it below and say, I am resourceful. That's a very powerful affirmation. When I don't have the money, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to find the money. If I don't have the time, I'm going to say, I'm going to make the time. But here comes the second quote. And this was the one that did it for me. I learned that quote pretty much a few seconds after this first quote, and they both have made such a profound impact on my life. But I know that when you hear this one, it will put things in a different perspective. And it actually connects to something which is also called, I forgot how it actually is called, but it's something like superpowers, or did they call it hysteric powers? It was a really weird name, but I forgot. But have you guys ever heard of those stories where a parent had a child in danger? And there was these stories. I remember one in particular where there was a little kid sitting down, and there was a truck almost coming on a collision course with the kid. And the mom ran towards the truck and lifted the truck up. She tapped into a supernatural power because she had to save the life of her kid. Nobody can describe where that power came from. Nobody can easily reproduce it. Like when she goes to the gym, she doesn't lift trucks for breakfast. So where does that come from? And why do we see examples in life of parents, of people put into drastic situations, all of a sudden being capable of more than that they thought they were capable of? So here goes this next quote, and I want everybody to comment it below. I also learned this from Asher Kashna, and he said, "It's never the lack of resources. It's only ever the lack of desire." So it's a slightly different ending and a different meaning altogether. So let's unpack that one. So it's never the lack of resources. It's only ever the lack of desire. What does that mean? It basically means that it's not whether we're capable of doing something. It's not whether we have certain things or we do not have certain things. It's basically just us realizing or wanting something bad enough or good enough. Because if you really had the desire to do something and it meant the world to you, it means everything to you, you can make it happen. Same way that mom lifted a truck because her kid was everything to her. And she had no other choice. She was put into that situation, and it was life or death. And it allowed her to do something that she never thought was possible. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody to go out there and lift trucks. I'm sharing this with you because I want you to realize that in your life and in your business and your beautiful endeavors to create success for yourself, you will be able to tap into the same situation. And so I'm going to talk about another example that, again, I learned on my very first event that was connected exactly with, it's never the lack of resources, it's only ever the lack of desire. And that was as follows. There wasn't a situation or was an example where I said, okay, imagine I'm now asking you guys to basically start implementing things, doing your homework, doing your no lippy lippy, basically asking you guys to start implementing all of the beautiful strategies and methods and techniques that you're learning during Project 1 Million in 1 year to go and make 10,000, and then to go and make 100,000, and then to go and make 1,000,000. Now, what we will come to talk about tomorrow as well is that, yes, the event is called Project 1 Million in 1 year. But for some people looking at that, it's like, wow, 1,000,000, like how? It's like, it sounds way too much. It's almost out of reach. So that's why we simplify it. We basically break it down in little steps. We spoke about this on the pre-training and said, okay, so imagine if as a consequence of this event, you would just make 1 extra 1,000. Would it make you happy? And a lot of people said, yes, that would make me happy. Now, do you think that if you can make 1,000, that then you're capable of making another 1,000 by just doing the same steps again? Of course. If you were then to do it again, you can make a third 1,000. Would you be able to? Of course. And then at some point, you can go for the 10,000. Then, if you repeat that 10 times, you're at your 100K. Then, if you repeat that 10 times, then you're at your 1,000,000. So it's all just by looking at, okay, we're going to divide it in small little steps. That's why on day number 5 of Project 1 Million in 1 year, the monetization day, we're first going to break it down to see, okay, how can you make your first 10K? Because that seems like a good enough milestone. How many of you watching this video right now or the replay, you're like, hey, if I can make an extra 10K as a consequence of Project 1 Million in 1 year, I would be pretty happy. I would really like that. Let me know in the chat box. Comment below and say 10K. Now, what if I was to say to you guys, all right, so I want you to go out right now and close 10K in deals and find yourself 10K, no matter how you have to find it. Either you close a deal You find someone that can invest in you. You go out there and sell your clothes or stuff that you don't use anymore. If I was to tell you guys, go out there right now, and in 1 week you have to bring 10K, how many of you would actually be able to do it? What are you thinking right now? For those of you that were part of Project 1 Million 1 Year, I gave you the exercise. Every single time a little voice pops up, a thought comes into your head, ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, is this something I really believe? Or is this just something, a belief, a thought that has been with me for so long that I cannot even remember whether it was my own or someone else's? And number 2, is it serving me? Is this thought that I'm wondering if I can do it even, and if I should even go and try, is that actually what I believe in? Or is it serving me? If it's not, then let's change it. So then here I'm saying to you guys, okay, go out there, and in 1 week, I want you to make 10,000. And yes, careers advisor, hoo-ha-hoo for saying 10K. Now, let me sketch another scenario, tapping into exactly what we spoke about before. Imagine this, and this is a little bit of a scary situation. So this is a thought experiment. Brace yourself. So imagine there was a villain, and that villain came to your house and said, ha, 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 I am going to put a bomb on you. And he straps a bomb to you and says, this bomb is going to go boom in 7 days. And unless you find me $10,000 and pay this to me in all cash, I'm not going to dismantle that bomb and it will go boom. Now, a little bit of a cartoony bad guy, but imagine that that's a scenario. What will you do? Will you be like most people to say like, oh, I have no idea where to begin. I feel overwhelmed. Let me just go and watch Netflix. Let me just play Candy Crush and do what we always done. Stay comfortable in our comfort zone and say like, yes, sorry, I have no idea what to do. Can't do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't know. Or will we actually do something? Will we actually be like, hey, wait a second, this is my life here. I value being alive. I care being alive. I'm not just going to sit around and let this 1 week pass me by only for next week to go boom. I want to live. I'm going to go out there. I have no clue where to begin, but I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to go to the bank, say, hey, bank, can I borrow some money? I have a serious situation. You're going to go to your job, say, hey, job, can I do some over hours? Can I work a little bit extra so that I can get more money? And you're going to go outside and say, hey, what stuff do I have that I can sell? Let me go and sell my car. Let me go and sell my machines that I'm not even using. I've got an old motorcycle. Let me put it out there. Get a good deal. You are going to go and stand on the street corner and say, hey, who can I help? What can I do? You're going to make yourself useful. And you're going to find a way. Why? Because there's desire. We have the desire to live. How many of you can feel what I'm talking about? Because the desire is there, it gets us to move. We're going out there. And lo and behold, as we shared on this first day, in the final few seconds, that taking action opens doors. Guess what's going to happen? Some opportunities are going to present themselves. And even though in that first day, you're just like, oh, I have no clue where to begin, but I'm just going to do what I know thus far. I'm going to speak to people. I'm going to find ways. I'm going to be resourceful. Then all of a sudden, you're going to come across a person who says, hey, I see you want to sell that motorcycle. I actually happen to know this friend who has this big motorcycle fair, and there you can do blah, 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 blah. Maybe go there. Or you're going to go to your boss, and your boss says, hey, you know what? I can't give you overtime for this, but actually there's this other job that I need help with. I hear that you are an expert in motorcycles. Can you help me? Of course, let's go. All of a sudden, these doors start to open for you. Why? Because you were fueled with desire. It's never the lack of resources, time, money, knowledge, mentorship, having a blueprint. All these things are resources. It's never the lack of any of those things. It's only the lack of desire. Because if you really wanted enough, the same way that you want to live when there's a bomb, when the mom wants to save her kid, that is such big desire that if you're put into a life or that situation, you would do it. You would go out there and you would give it your all. And guess what? Your all is enough. Taking action opens doors. So the question I want to ask you guys is that if you would be capable of doing it then in such a worst case scenario, why not now? If you're capable to go out there and go do whatever good it takes to go and find that money, to find the solutions, to find the people that can bring you in connection with other people and to do business, why not now? The answer is that there is no good answer as to why not now. You just got to do it. You just got to realize and say, hey, wait a second. Yes, this is a matter of life. Because the truth of the matter is that in everything that we do, there is risk. There is risk if we go out there and start speaking to people. There is risk if I'm visible. There is risk if I go and try something that I've never done before. It's scary. There is risk, but there's also rewards. But more important than that, there is risk in everything. There is risk in taking action, and there is risk in inaction. And the risk in inaction is even more scary, detrimental. Because the risk of inaction, we don't notice until it's too late. Until 10 years have passed by, you're scratching your head and suddenly nothing has changed at all. And then another 10 years pass by, and another 10 years pass by, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, wait a second, why didn't I just go for it? Imagine if I would have just given it my all 10 years ago. Where could you have been right now? Now, at the same time, I do believe that everything does happen for a reason. That all of the difficulties, all of the struggles, all of the decisions were there for a reason. It has made you the beautiful person that you are today. But now you behold a choice. Now, again, you behold a choice to say, hey, what am I going to do now? Where do I want to be 10 years from now? Do I want to be in the same place in 10 years? Or do you want to be in a different place, a better place, a place that you have been wishing for? It all starts with you and the actions and the decisions that you make today. So ask yourself the question, do you desire it enough? What does it mean to you? As much as we want to live, don't we also really want to live? And I mean that. We value our lives. That's why in a life or death situation, we would do whatever good it takes to stay alive. But most people, they go through life, but are not always living, are not always enjoying. They're getting by. They're taking things for granted. They take themselves for granted. I believe that every one of us deserves to live a most beautiful life. And I want you to love and respect yourself enough to go and make it happen. And that's why we shared on the pre-training. And I forgot to say it today, but I'm going to say it now. I want everybody to comment it below and say that success is the most ultimate form, or at least one of the most ultimate forms of self-love. Success is one of the most ultimate forms of self-love. Why? It's because when you go and go out there for that success, it means that you love yourself and your loved ones so much, you respect yourself so much that you don't take anything that is not the absolute best for you as an outcome. I'm not going to settle for anything but the most beautiful life, most best health, best relationships, best love, best financial situation, so I can look after those that I love and myself. I love myself so much that I'm not going to settle for a life below my potential, and neither should you. Success is one of the highest forms of self-love, and it doesn't mean that you have to be greedy, doesn't mean that you have to be arrogant and weird. No, you're going to be and stay that good, beautiful person that you are. You're just going to flip the switch in your mind saying, hey, you know what? I deserve this. And I've been deserving this for a long time now. And now I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to take my responsibility. I'm not going to ask anybody or expect anybody else to do it for me. I'm going to do it for me. And I'm going to take the help. I'm going to take the mentorship. I'm going to take the support. I'm going to take the accountability from those amazing, beautiful people around me that are there to support me. I'm going to be the one that takes the step, one foot in front of the next, one foot in front of the next. And in doing so, every single day, before you know it, success comes knocking on your door and say, hey, you have summoned me. Here I am. How many of you are having an aha moment? Let me know in the chat box. And I really want you guys to take this to heart. You can tap into this unlimited power. You just got to want it good enough. So on that note, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here on the after party of day number 1. We are going to have an absolutely explosive day number 2. And as the participants already know, tomorrow I'm going to give away something worth thousands of pounds. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't even know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it anyways. So you better be there live tomorrow on day 2. If you're not part of Project 1 Million and you want to be part of it, I'm going to put, after I finish this live, I'm going to put a link in the comments where you can join. But also, we have had a number of different messages. Let me just quickly scroll through. I've had so many messages from people, and some people weren't able to be here. They really, really wanted to. They had work, they had other situations, or they couldn't catch the entire session. And we normally don't do replays. But I have really seen like what day number 1 has done to a lot of people and how many people really wanted to be part of this event. So we have made a decision to release the replay of day number 1. But that's it. We're not going to do replay game every single day. Like, you have to be there live. But if there's anybody watching this feeling like, hey, I want to be part of that crazy Project 1 Million event, you can still catch up with day number 1 for the final replay ever done here right now. And then you have to be there live for day number 2, 3, 4, 5, and be part of this beautiful tribe to go and completely transform your life. So on that note, I'm going to go. I'm going to share that link in just a few moments in the comments. And the replay is still processing, or I think it's just finished. I got a notification. So we'll be sharing that very soon. And for those of you that are part of Project 1 Million or will be now, so excited. Can't wait to see you tomorrow on the Money Shift Day. Oh my goodness. And yeah, be there live, be there until the end, because I'm going to do this crazy giveaway, and it's going to be crazy. So, and if you're new to the channel, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, because we're making daily videos to make sure that everyone that we cross paths with is capable of creating freedom for themselves in all forms of the way and in all good ways. So on that note, I'm going to go. Love you guys lots. See you guys tomorrow, and let's go. Hoo-ha-hoo!